Michigan coming in 6-5, and the Gators coming in at 7-3, including a close loss to Baylor back in November, 95-91. That's a pretty good defeat. Baylor, of course, rose to number 6 nationally. Clay's going to go right down and lay it up and in, so he sets the tone right away.
Yeah, right off the jump, a straight line drive, right down the lane line. Michigan's going to have to be able to play better defense than that.
Williams up top, handing off to Burnett, who can hit the three, 38% out there as he goes to the baseline. And the jump shot from the corner will be around and out, off target by Williams the second. Gators playing their last big non-conference game before they face off against Kentucky January 6th in what will be their SEC opener. You talk about a meat grinder of a conference, the SEC this year. Certainly going to be in the conversation as the best conference in America.
We were talking about Arkansas, Tennessee, of course Kentucky getting healthy. Adrian Bradshaw was outstanding in the Kentucky game against North Carolina in their last outing. It's going to be fun to watch in the conference race.
Williams taking away the rebound. Michigan just got their head coach back as well. Juwan Howard in year number 5. This is for the first time last couple of games this season that he is the head coach back in that role. The first time was on Saturday in that victory over Eastern Michigan. And I know Myron will have a lot more on the health of the head coach, but was cleared to resume as a full-time head coach last Saturday following that September heart procedure. And Lockton will have it knocked away, gets it back. Shot clock down to 7. Clayton with the handoff, and he's going to be on the line. Florida's going to turn it over. Richard, not enough room down there in that deep corner. As we take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Novant Health. And for Michigan, we mentioned McDaniel. He is the engine for the Wolverines. Kamwa 17-7 as well. And that one's going to be knocked out. 18:40 to go. Another turnover. And for the Florida Gators tonight, their starting lineup, Clayton getting 17 a game, Samuel 14-8, and Riley Kugel can be very, very dangerous. He's tended to run hot and cold, but when he's exploded like he did against Baylor, he can be the man, 25-9 in that game.
Yeah, he was first team all-freshman team last year in the SEC, and that's a tough 3 right there. He's better on a catch and shoot right now, and he's a guy that has to do some other things besides just scoring for Florida to be able to win.
Reed Jr. slapped out of there by the shot blocker, Samuel. He's making a statement early in this one with that kind of rejection.
He's already made 2 big defensive plays on this end of the floor for Florida.
Clayton Jr. with a misfire, but he'll get a second effort. Not a defensive stop on this end by Michigan. Cleared out for Richard.
You got a mismatch right here.
Kugel on the cut. Tried to lay it off. Shot clock down to 6. The corner jumper won't drop. Now Reed Jr. slow to get back into the fray here for the Wolverines, but finally does. Off the window. That's a pretty bank shot. Beautifully done by McDaniel.
Really nice, because you can't help off the short corner, the strong corner over there on that drive by McDaniel, because there's a 3-point shooter sitting in that corner. It's something to keep your eye on as we move forward.
Off the fake, Samuel, nicely done, little hook shot.
What a start. I mean, he got involved in a ball screen coverage and got a deflection and a steal. He made a block. Now he's going inside, scoring with 2 feet in the paint.
Tyrese Samuel at 6'10", played 4 years at Seton Hall, 3 times named to the Big East All-Academic team. McDaniel way downtown, yes sir! Rips and threes, 38%. I don't know about from that far out though, with that kind of range, and Michigan jumps in front.
Well, he sets up his ability to shoot with range. Clayton Jr. goes under, and anytime Doug McDaniel sees his defender go under a ball screen, he's pulling the trigger immediately.
And 33 points against Oregon, 26 against St. John, so he can really get rolling.
Yeah, he's electric in the open floor, and when space opens up, which he's very good at creating and separating from his defender, he is really fun to watch.
And a whistle inside, it's an offensive, it'll go the other way. So a foul here against the Gators. They'll get Samuel for that one. The graduate from Montreal. For Todd Golden, who lost 6'10", Colin Castleton, who played for both Florida and Michigan in his college career. Was to a broken hand last February, possibly costing Florida an NCAA tournament bid. They really stumbled down the stretch. They finished 16 and 17. But who knows? Had he been available, different story.
Yeah, and they have added through the portal and some size up front from recruiting to be a bigger, stronger, more physical team on that front line. They can absorb an injury now this year that they couldn't absorb last year.
McDaniel feeding to Big. Reed inside and gets fouled as well. Terrace Reed Jr. takes the hit. He'll be at the strike.
You're not going to find many guys playing in the post at the 5 that have the size and the low body strength that Reed has. Look how he fights for position against Samuel. Gets 2 feet in the front of the rim. Finishes through the contact. Just great counter right here. He goes to the left. Goes to his right hand, excuse me, and finishes at the front. Front door, Dave. Finish at the front door.
And it's at that line that he has a lot of trouble at only 49%. So that's been an issue for him. As mentioned, across the board, generally Michigan shoots the ball very, very well. 82 points a game. They hit 50% of their shots, 38% from 3. That one off the front of the iron. That'll glance away by Kugel, but they'll get a second crack at it. And Kugel really ate up Baylor in a very close loss back in November. It's his best game of the season, preseason All-SEC. Going one-on-one. And one there as Florida continues to crash the glass, as mentioned.
Of course, Coach Martelli, the legend from St. Joe's.
Samuel off the front of the iron, can't connect on a three-point attempt. When we talk about Florida on the offensive glass, they have really been tough early in this one with 5 offensive rebounds out of the 9 they have. So setting an early trend, but Michigan up by 1. Knocked away by Richard, but into the backcourt. McDaniel with 7 to get off a shot. He'll fire it and connects on a 3.
Yeah, he is so smart. He saw the drop coverage. He knew he was going to be able to get a jump shot off that screen by Reed.
On the back door, and again, Michigan collapsing defensively, but a foul on the play. With 14:41 to go here in the first half.
Michigan ball number 4, Damari Burnett, is first, second team foul.
Got the body down low. And then watch McDaniel come at full speed, drop coverage. He knows he's going to have a pull-up jump shot. It's a beautiful decision with the shot clock running down. And that's the guy that they want to have the ball inside 10.
Pulled the 6'4" grad, missing on the first one, averaging 13 points a game. Florida has good balance offensively.
I like their team a lot. I think they have shown all season a consistent ability to share the ball. They've had 4 guys that can get you 20.
Daniel again, yes sir, nothing but net. He is scorching hot right out of the gate tonight. 13-7 the Wolverines. Richard trying to answer.
I think Florida needs to be a little bit more patient and get the ball inside to Samuel. He's the one that's had the ability to score inside.
They better find McDaniel too when he comes across midcourt.
Well, Pullen's got that assignment right now. Como's been quiet to start the game.
He swoops to his right. Nicely done for 2.
I love the counter right there. And a nice up and under move by Olivier Como.
He played for 3 NCAA tournament teams at Tennessee under Rick Barnes, so he's done a lot of winning. Reed will commit the foul. And the Gators head to the line here. We mentioned the Gators losing to Baylor. They also lost by just 3 to Virginia. They have been picked to be a middle-of-the-pack team in the Southeastern Conference. This is not a team that lights it up. Unlike Michigan, they don't rely on shooting. Only 45%, 32% from 3. They're not great at the foul line either. So they really rely on you to miss shots.
Yeah, they're number 1 in the SEC right now with a plus 11.5 rebounding margin. We already documented their great offensive rebounding ability, 4th in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage. They've got to get some stuff in transition. They've got to get it off their defense. They're pretty good at getting to the free throw line. That's how they manufacture some offense.
McDaniel, a two-pointer this time, not there. He made all 3 of his three-point attempts. Google trying to make a move. Chase down, and it's going to be knocked away by Michigan.
And Michigan is forcing Florida to break off their offense a little bit earlier than I think Todd Golden would like. And without Walter Clayton Jr. on the floor, Pullen is more of a natural point guard. He probably needs to get command of the offense on top of the floor.
Google, good three-point man, generally speaking, 38%. Michigan in transition. And just lost it. Burnett losing the handle. Amari Burnett, the graduate out of Chicago, with a turnover. And back to the Gators it goes. Look at the turnovers, 3 apiece.
Look at Reed jump out on that screen. Good X out on the backside.
Condon working hard underneath, using the window for 2.
Sometimes I don't know why those big guys just don't go to that half hook right there. He's at the rim, or just dunk it.
6'11" freshman from Australia. He was a big-time prospect in Australian rules football too. Sweet Conlon for 2.
And that's the experience of Conway going against Condon on the inside. They're going to clear out down there at this end, and they run one for Samuel on the other end.
Tyree Samuel with a couple more of the 6'10" graduate.
I think both of these staffs and their head coaches are excellent at taking a look, Dave, at what happens in the first 5 minutes and adjusting with their ball screen offense, the pace that they play, the matchups they like.
Michigan had made 5 of their last 6. Pulling with the speed, but no, it rolls off the iron, and it'll go the other way. So he could be hung with a bunch of them, a lot of different nicknames, because Rangy is another one.
Yeah.
Comes across midcourt, he's at the logo, he's ready to shoot.
He's been speedy so far. He accelerates into his screen action. He's very good off the bounce. He's fast end to end.
Conway in traffic there, draws the foul, and he'll be at the line. Condon trying to stay with him.
When you are as fast as McDaniel and you can change direction that quickly and you can change your pace, that makes you even more challenging to guard, no matter if it's on the, you have the ball in your hands or you're coming off screening action.
Conway at 68% at the line, missing on the first one. Of course, the Wolverines last year, despite 2 NBA first-round draft picks and the since-departed Hunter Dickinson, last season failed to reach the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. At this point, when you're 6-5, every game is big. Out of the conference here tonight against a Florida team that has eyes on the NCAA tournament.
Well, Joe Lunardi today has Florida as one of the last 4 byes and has this as a really important game for Michigan on the bubble.
Condon can't hit, tipped up and in. And that was Thomas Haupt, the 6'9" freshman with the 7-foot wingspan to tip it in.
See, Michigan's got to be more physical on the glass defensively. They can't let Condon in the middle of traffic get that tip.
Tomlin operating the lane, and once again, Condon is right there. Loose ball collected by the Wolverines. And maybe a clock issue here, 10:42 to go, and an official timeout. Take a look at the blocks in traffic, though.
I mean, look at Condon get up and deflect that and block it. Look at Reed create a little space. He's got to finish that.
Shot clock issue right here, so they go to the monitor. 10:42 left in the half. And Michigan to check it in. Burnett. get it free to Cheddar and knocked away by the Gators.
The one thing that Florida's defense is really good at is keeping the ball on one side. I mean, they load up to the ball, they'll turn their hips to the sideline, and they'll have high hands trying to not allow that reversal.
And to try to feed inside. Kama got it and knocked it in. Kama, really good rebounder, good passer too.
I think he's the most experienced guy, obviously, that Michigan has. And as you mentioned, those 3 tournaments that he played in for Rick Barnes at Tennessee. He's a real versatile guy. He can rebound, he can score.
Pulling in the paint, drops it downstairs. Nice fake, and up and in by Condon, who's showing up tonight.
Condon has been fantastic. 6'11" freshman.
He came through the same Australia program as Andrew Bogut and Patty Mills, Luke Longley. A lot of great Australian players, and that'll go the other way. On the foul, 9:50 left in the half. Condon, 6'11", 230. We talked about Australian rules football. He was a top prospect, and look at his last 3 games, playing very well. But how do you like to see him coming at you? You know, trying to score in Australian rules football at 6'11" and 230. You're getting out of the way. He has that effect in the basketball court as well. Richard up top for Hawk. Here's Pullins. He goes around the back, little fall away, around and out. And they're going to get Florida for the foul. That'll go against Howe.
That's Cheddar doing a great job boxing out, making contact, beating his defender, and then going to get the ball.
Will Cheddar there at 6'8". The guy who can really shoot it for the Wolverines. They've got a number of those guys who can.
He's a really good pick and pop game. He's got a really good pick and pop game for Michigan. He's not just a roll guy. He can space the floor a little bit around Reed when he's in the game.
The Gators doing a better job on Doug McDaniel here in the last 5 or 6 minutes as he was torching them early. Cheddar, and that one ripped away by Hawk. Up ahead, Richard to finish with the slam. So the Gators go from the turnover to the dunk in a heartbeat. And a 1-point game. Kamwa, yes sir, beautiful touch.
That's the experience you're talking about right there when you need a big bucket.
6'9" to stick that triple. Condon sealed off. Here's Clayton Jr., 17 a game for the Gators. Little runner, no, and a foul by Hawk won't follow. And a whistle right around midcourt on Clayton.
Florida foul number 1, Walter Clayton Jr. His first personal 15.
The short roll, and it's a great strip right there by Haught, and then a great finish on the other end. Had a great conversation with Todd Golden today about defending the short roll and about the short roll in his offense. It just seems like because more teams are getting aggressive in their ball screen coverages, that short roll gets you into space sooner, and you got to have a good decision maker when you catch it in that short roll and be ready to make a quick decision.
Kamo made a little bit of an adjustment with his finger. Gets it back on the attack, and it's stripped from him. Here comes Samuel. Clayton Jr. lining up a 3 and all day to do it, and swishes it in.
How about Samuel leading the break?
7:47 to go. Kamo has a hand issue right now, but I'll tell you who doesn't, Walter Clayton Jr.
This is just a great fill, a good ball fake. Cheddar goes flying by, and he lines it up.
And a very good way for the Gators. They have 9 points. The Michigan bench without a point yet. Michigan by 1, and the ball here.
Florida extending their pressure a little bit. Going to the Horn series.
Jackson sprawling for it. Shot clock now down to 7. McDaniel again, off the window.
So
He's going to want a game, doesn't he?
He sure does. And I love the set coming off the timeout by Michigan to try to get Jackson inverted to the block against a smaller defender.
Doug McDaniel with 13. Tyrese Samuel. And a big factor here in this one, but that's a travel. And the Gators with the turnover. Michigan with the ball back, up by 3.
You got to give it to Terrence Williams right there. Terrence Williams held his ground. And Samuel's got to make a quicker decision with that basketball.
Samuel's had a couple of nice games this year. One against Pitt in November, 20 and 10, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 block shots. He can be a big factor in many different ways. And another traveling violation, this one on Terrace Reed Jr. They'll give it right back to Florida.
Both the big guys shuffling their feet. Both these coaches can throw some ISO ball at you now. I mean, they will go. And Juwan Howard working with the post players this morning at shoot-around.
Turnovers have been an issue for Coach Howard's team. They've turned it over more than their opponents and have allowed 76 points a game. They can certainly score. Clayton right down the paint. Again, Michigan collapsing defensively. Out it goes off the Gators.
Knowing that Florida's a team that struggles to shoot the 3, right? They only make 7 a game. They're 32%. They have done a really good job of playing in the gaps, protecting inside out, and then knowing where Walter Clayton Jr. is outside the 3-point line.
Swished in from the corner. Sweet shot there by Llewellyn. Jalen Llewellyn, the 6'2 grad out of Canada, the backup point guard, just returned after a year away with a torn ACL and will go the other way.
One of the things that Todd Golden was concerned about was his team's decision-making, turning the ball over. When you offensive rebound it as well as they do, you got to get the ball up on the glass or up on the rim. Gives you a 42% chance of rebounding it.
Wolverines making their threes, 5 out of 8. Good defense downstairs. Lawton got a hand on it. Google strong in and the follow. The 7'1 sophomore, Hanlock getting up there to dunk it in.
And that's what I'm talking about, Dave. You could question the shot selection, but Hanlock does such a good job of following the play and staying in it.
Tyrese Samuel reaching in to commit a foul there to stop the clock. 5:23 to go in the half.
Google really struggling to score, but he gets into the body of Llewellyn, and then that's just a great follow. Micah Hanlogan does a great job of staying in that play and following off the penetration by Kugel.
Batted away, loose in midcourt. Gators come away with it. Going in strong. Everett tried to lay that one up and in. Actually went for the dunk and draws the foul. Off the theft. Michigan up 28-24. The Gators at the line.
Kugel makes a really nice play there, tapping the ball ahead. And yeah, you're right, Aberdeen's going to lay that one in.
So Llewellyn with the personal. Gators shooting 2. Now game number 1 tonight. We mentioned here at the Jumpman that these are the 4 original teams under Jordan Brands in both basketball and football competing here.
Yeah, this is the second year of a 3-year deal, and the city of Charlotte has embraced this event. You got to give Joe Castiglione at Oklahoma, the athletic director, along with Danny Morrison, who runs the Charlotte Sports Foundation, the credit for creating this event.
Swooping inside. Oh, it's going to roll in by Terrence Williams the second. I'm not sure how he got that to go, but down it went. Pulling on the drive, will kick it out. And Glenn will lay that one in from way downtown.
He has not missed from the 3-point line this season. He's got 4 triples.
Williams on the wing, under 4.5 to go. And a 1-point game. Llewellyn with a mid-range, no. Kama keeping that one alive to his right. Bullen fired that pass out off of Kugel. Right back over to the Wolverines it goes.
It's been quite a few unforced turnovers by Florida in this first half. You'd like to think Michigan's defense would get some credit for some of them, but I think Michigan has really done a good job in their transition game as well. They have forced Florida into some tough decisions. So it's a little bit of both.
McDaniel. At this time, rebound tipped. Kama went for it. Big rebound there by Condon. We'll see if Kugel can heat up. He's been chilly and continues to be. Condon keeping that alive. Aberdeen bouncing. Kugel with a nice feed and a slam.
There's a great unselfish drop-off pass by Kugel. He has struggled from the three. He has the ability to do other things to help Todd Golden's team.
And Longton knows what to do with it down there. Long jumper on the way. That won't drop. Michigan has been shooting the three effectively. That one batted around and controlled by McDaniel. Another wing jumper and swished in. Nothing but net. Right on the money by Williams the second. Both teams starting to get into a good offensive flow.
Michigan showing some zone. Changing the pace a little bit here. First time we've seen zone out of Juwan Howard's team.
Condon in the paint, yes.
Good recognition by Florida. Get the ball in the middle of the floor.
33-33. Burnett with the feed, nice finish. Wriggling underneath Williams again. He's getting into the flow offensively. Bullen. Condon using the ball, banks it in. Alex Condon. A great command and using the windows so effectively.
Look at this great pick and roll right down the lane line. Nice delivery, good show of the ball.
And the 6'11" Condon looking to finish off the three-point play. 64% at the foul line. And can't do it, so tied at 35.
Both these coaches so good at situational offense. Let's see coming off the timeout what Juwan Howard's team wants to run. It looks like it started out to be a clear out for McDaniel, but they like Kama on that matchup also.
Williams, not that time. So the Gators trying to forge in front. Kugel's been a cold shooter here in the first half. They want Condon again. One dribble down. Rebound is tipped. Right back to the Wolverines.
I would say Michigan playing a little bit smaller because you've got Kamwa who can play the floor. He's got versatility at the floor.
Look at that quickness by McDaniel. Lightning to his right and finished it off. Here's Pullen, but no. Rebound and a big fight for that. Everybody hitting the deck. Williams got down and saved it.
So this smaller lineup opens up the floor for McDaniel with Kamwa playing 4 out, 1 in.
Went for another three. Couldn't hit it. Richard lost the dribble, taken away by Michigan. Kama tiptoeing through. Here's Burnett open. We got a great look.
Yeah, that was a great find, skipping the ball in transition like that. I like the way McDaniel sees the floor. He's not a guy that's going to play above the rim, but he controls the ground so well. His decision-making in this first half has been outstanding.
Well, a timeout. To Seth's point, it has not been a Mona Lisa, but it's been entertaining. Michigan by 2.
One matchup to watch. 2 top programs on the women's side.
So a lot of good hoops here in the city of Charlotte tonight and tomorrow on ESPN and ESPN2.
Good change by Juwan Howard to zone. Second possession to zone.
Gonna get a shot up. Shot clock down to 2. Richard partially blocked. Como got a hand on it, and that's a shot clock violation led by defense by Michigan.
What a great coaching move by Juwan Howard. You call the timeout if you're Florida to run a play. You switch it up on the defensive end.
So 10 seconds here before halftime. Michigan up by 2. McDaniel's been the story. Over the top, he threw it away. Got a chance for a heave here at the buzzer by Pullen. That's it back in. Count it. A three-pointer. And of course, they'll go look at it. But an electrifying finish to this first half as Pullen let it fly as the horn was sounding.
So Doug McDaniel has been getting drop coverage, and this time Florida steps up to the level of the screen. Watch right here. Now you got to make him make a play. He tries to throw the lob. This is an outstanding defensive effort by Florida, and then you can count it. That's a bucket right there.
Kids love to practice that at the end of every shoot-around, and they don't make many, but there's always one guy
to limit their second chance opportunities. We have to really get up in them, especially on the perimeter, and play tougher defense. So we'll see if both teams execute the second half.
As mentioned, it's a big one for both teams out of conference. Florida looking for their 8th win of the year. Michigan trying to get to 2 games over 500. And the Wolverines begin with a basketball. Como will try and drop it in, but it won't drop for him. And batted out from McDaniel. McDaniel had 2 or 3 ooh and ah moments from this crowd. And the first half swatted away by Samuel. Williams with a little fall away will hit it.
Really get that many opportunities getting on the offensive boards. Michigan in the first half only had 4 offensive rebounds. They got 2 so far in the second half.
Burnett with the theft. The lay-in, that won't fall in by Reed Jr. In transition, Kugel, and he'll slow things down here for the Gators.
Kugel 0 for 6 in the first half, 0 for 4 from the three-point line.
Up top, here's Clayton Jr., top scorer for the Gators, 17 a game. Kugel, yes, nice touch.
I love that set because I was just thinking Kugel hadn't been to the free throw line either. He's got to find a way to get an easy bucket. That's a great way for Todd Golden to get him going.
Burnett getting a look, sticks it. Amari Burnett, the 6'4" grad out of Chicago. And a grad transfer. This is his 3rd stop. He was also Texas Tech and Alabama, laid in by Samuel.
Good high-low look with the size advantage of the front line of Florida. We haven't seen him go to that high-low in the first half.
Como in heavy traffic, no. Reed will take the hit and go to the line. Terrace Reed Jr. to the strike.
So you can hear the Florida staff yelling, weak, weak. What that means is they're trying to force McDaniel to the left side of the floor, but he is so good at snaking behind that drop coverage and that screen, and that forces rotation. And when you force rotation and you get to the second level, it opens up opportunities to get to the glass. It's a very well executed play by Doug McDaniel.
Now Michigan in the first half just 1 for 3 at the foul line. And Reed connects. It's a bit of a headline too, only 49% at the line.
2-2-1. Three-quarter court pressure by Michigan, falling back into the zone. See, I'm not surprised we're seeing a little more zone here early in the second half based on the way Florida was able to score in the first half.
I thought they might. Reed converging and deflects it. Interior defense has been very tough at times for Michigan.
They get an opportunity to trap in the corner. And Clayton makes a turnover. Good D by Michigan.
McDaniel 15 in the first half. Launches here off the front iron. We had some electrifying baskets inside and outside in the first 20. Kugel for Samuel. And he'll lay it in.
You got a sense that Riley Kugel is going to have a much different second half here. He's off to a really much better start. Better decision making for himself and his teammates.
Tied at 44. Burnett trying to operate. Yes, sir. Nothing but net.
Burnett didn't score in the first half. He's got 2 quick buckets.
21 against St. John's, all in the first half. Samuel too strong off to the right. McDaniel with that great ability to, change direction in a heartbeat, draws the foul. You would think he would spend a lot of time at the foul line. The game against Oregon, we talked about 33 points, he got 12 field goals in that game of all varieties. And he is back to the line.
He just does such a great job of challenging your second level and third level defensively because he doesn't over-penetrate. He throws it high off the glass. He's quick in reading, and he controls the ground. He plays underneath guys. He sees the game from under your elbows, right?
Look at the improvement from a year ago. Sophomore surge. Just about 18 points per game. The assists, 5 assists per game. Quick, agile, tough.
All of that is better shape, more maturity, great film study, and then being put in a position to succeed by your staff.
So, Michigan by 4. Samuel in the paint will lay in too, and he's proven to be very tough to stop when he wants to get downstairs like that.
So it looks like Juwan Howard showing zone, and on the first pass they're going to man, matching up. They just keep changing it up to keep it confusing for Florida.
McDaniel back for Williams, catches, fires. Yes, sir. That's a triple.
And see, here's another thing, Dave. That throwback, that throw behind pass is right on the money. So even if you're on time with your closeout, he puts it on the money so you can get right into the rhythm of your shot.
I like your description. He plays underneath people, and they can lose it. Samuel again, too strong off the glass. And it'll go the other way here with 15:44 to go.
And he looked at everybody in that huddle. It's demanded more for them, so he's pretty frustrated during that timeout.
Can't say it on ESPN either.
Well, the meticulous detail with which he conducts his shoot-around is impressive. And then you got to deliver, right? And these guys are not. And Michigan is bringing the fight right to him.
Terrence Williams II certainly did, as he sliced inside over the top for Samuel and takes the hit. He'll be at the line.
That's not a bad foul, though, because Tyrese Samuel is a 55% free throw shooter, and you want to make him earn that.
Burnett with a personal. And look at his numbers tonight, 12 points, 6 for 9, along with the 4 rebounds. He's been in the thick of it. He averages 14 and 8. Played 4 years at Seton Hall.
Mostly with his back to the basket. He has improved his face-up game. He's made some threes. He handles in transition off the glass.
And the foul shooting has been an issue, only 55%. And the second one coming for the grad. He missed the pair.
So it was a good foul.
Michigan looking for some breathing room here. McDaniel off to Reed. Yes, little iron, and it falls in.
And right now, Michigan's getting whatever they want. They have been excellent in executing on their end of the floor. And they've gotten back because they scored. They can't allow Florida to get anything easy in transition.
Samuel on the double, hooks it in. So they put another man on him. The man who's been missing in action for the Gators is Walter Clayton Jr., who's been their top scorer, just 2 for 7. He's been on the bench for a long stretch here.
Only played 11 minutes in the first half. Has not had a lot of minutes in this half.
Reed on the back down, very strong, right to the 10.
All right, back to back. How about the little floater by Reed and then to the offhand at the rim?
57-48. The Wolverines. Here's pull into the paint. Yes, sir. And Pullen, who hit one from around midcourt at the buzzer to end the first half to give the Gators a 1-point lead going into the locker room.
I would go right back to Reed. You know, the other thing, too, is he only has one personal foul. He can be more aggressive as time goes on. There he is. Clear it out for him. Let him go to work.
Working on Condon. Slapped right back out. Kugel came over to help.
So you got to read that help if you're Reed.
Florida trying to get hot, and they can do that with a three-pointer out of the corner by Will Richard. He's had some really poor shooting games and some really hot games. When he's hot, he's hot.
You know, I'm not a big believer in always how many you make, but it's when you make them, and Florida needs an emotional lift. Maybe that's the thing that'll give them a lift.
McDaniel on the drive. Is that ever sweet with the left hand? Don't you love how he uses the glass?
Yes, high off the glass. For all you smaller, undersized players, he's giving you a clinic on how to throw it up off the top of the glass.
Samuel off the fake. It won't go, but he's hit. Tyrese Samuel to the line, but we'll go to the other end and watch McDaniel operate.
This is what you're talking about, Dave. Watch how he attacks drop coverage. He's forcing Samuel to have to move his feet. I love that Juwan Howard is putting Samuel in all kinds of ball screening action, forcing him to have to guard on the perimeter, right? Because he's a big guy that wants to be at the rim.
And for more on Tyrese Samuel at the line, let's toss it over to Myron Metcalf.
Yeah, Tyrese is a member of this group of transfers who have really anchored this Florida team. Three of those guys, Walter Clayton Jr., Will Richard, Micah Hanlogden, all came from non-Power 5 schools. And I talked to Walter Clayton about that. He says, listen, a lot of us were overlooked, especially during COVID. Didn't get a chance to show our best stuff to D1 coaches, and we maybe didn't get the exposure we wanted at the time. But now we're proving we can all play at this level.
Well, Walter Clayton Jr. certainly can. In the backcourt last year with Dennis Jenkins for Rick Pitino at Iona. And they took Connecticut in the NCAA tournament in the first round to a halftime lead. They actually may have played them the best of anyone. I spoke to Walter today. I asked him about Coach Pitino because I'd seen Coach Pitino recently in the St. John's team. And he said, yeah, he keeps in touch with Coach, and Coach wished him well on the birth of his new baby.
Yeah, just had a little baby girl last week on the turnover. Here come the Gators. Entry pass for Hot, but a foul before the shot in the paint. With 12:40 to go. Myron, he's a brand new pop. Little baby girl, Leilani. I mean, that's a handful to be a college student, a college athlete, and a new dad.
Yeah, he's been going back and forth, missed some practices. He's about 2 hours away. He said it's really changed his life already. He said he knows he's a new father, not just because she has him wrapped around his finger, but he's not playing video games anymore. He said he's saving his energy to love on her.
That wrapped around the finger thing, I know that feeling very, very well myself with two daughters. But it's a great time and a very busy time, obviously, for Walter. Not having a great night tonight. Well, he was a big-time college football prospect. He was an outstanding wide receiver and defensive back. And, in fact, among the many schools that wanted him for football was the University of Florida.
He's an incredible athlete. Oh, look at
Daniel.
Daniel. Yeah. Come on. He's just toying with him now.
Boy, is he entertaining. What a variety of shots for Doug McDaniel, the 5'11" sophomore. Been magical at times in this one. Hawk will kick it back out for Pullen. Kugel will lift one up there. That won't drop.
I think Kugel's just forced that one. And shot selection so critical for offensive rebounding position, which is what Florida's good at. Watch McDaniel attack that second level, in, out, floater. Wow. Coverage in the middle of the floor. I think they got to trap him. You know, make him have to make a decision with the ball and get the ball out of his hands. Because right now Michigan keeps going to that high ball screen in the middle of the floor, and Florida can't guard him.
I'm 40 feet from him, and my ankles are sore. Good luck trying to guard him. Over the top, nearly threw it away. Batted to Burnett. Around the back to Reed downstairs, and he'll draw the foul. Nifty feed there by Amari Burnett. Almost got a sensational basket.
Good awareness right there. This is a beautiful feed. Just a little behind the back drop down. See, I think sometimes Reed's got to be quicker making his move, right?
Reed Jr. at the line, the 6'10 sophomore. He's actually an accomplished saxophonist. Plays both the baritone and the alto sax as well. So a man of many talents. And another one coming here, 11:37 to go. 19 against Iowa. And 13 against ECU. And Kamwa coming back on. Let's go back over to Myron.
Yeah, Reed said he made a crucial decision to stay in Ann Arbor this summer and really work on his body. He said he cooks all of his own meals now. Chicken, rice, keeps it simple. He's lost 15 pounds, and he says he can really feel the difference out there on the court this year.
Out open from the corner and stuffed in by Kugel.
Great offensive rebound by Kugel.
As you said, he's made the difference here in the second half. He's played a smarter basketball game.
Yeah, he is. Slips in from the backside, weak side to get on the boards.
Bill Cheddar on the drive, denied. Nice feed, though, and great defense again by the Gators. They are really stacking up the blocks, and another whistle on a tough drive here by Poland, and he'll be at the line.
Michigan foul number 42, Will Cheddar.
Just another big play inside at the rim. A lot of contact, a lot of plays at the rim tonight. Alex Condon that time with the block.
Gators now 6 for 9 at the foul line. That was in the first half. The second half, 2 for 6.
The Gators have 7 blocks by 5 different guys.
Llewellyn, that picked off.
Good play by Riley Kugel.
Kugel will throw this one away, so we were just lauding the intelligence of his game, and he's made a lot of really good plays in the second half, but not that time.
I think he's going for the home run play instead of just hitting a single.
Olivier Kamwa stops at the foul line.
What a different looking Michigan team without McDaniel on the floor.
Boy, no kidding. Wolverines by 3 coming up on the halfway mark of this second half. Houck will lift it and swish it in for 3-point lead.
They got high praise for Thomas Houck, the 6'9" freshman. Todd Golden said he went into the portal and he also recruited some bigs. He wanted to get bigger and more physical on the front line, and he's certainly done that.
Almost nice touch there in the paint. Olivier Kamwa, graduate from Finland. It'll be a loose ball on the deck and into the corner, and that'll go the other way. They've had 5 ties and 9 lead changes in this one. Feels like one of those games that is going to come right down to the last couple of possessions.
I don't think there's any question that's where we're headed.
And then again, a dandy lined up for us tomorrow night on the men's side. Oklahoma undefeated, taking on North Carolina here in Charlotte. McDaniel back on. Poked away by Poland. Gets to the loose ball and can't finish. And McDaniel got up there for the rebound. Knocked away. Poland again gets a hand on it. Aberdeen with a spin and the fake. Can't lay it in. Everything but the basket. The feed for Burnett. Going in strong. Blocked by Condon. And he races for it. And he's on the line. So Michigan will have it.
What an exchange back and forth.
Mercy.
The Jumpman Invitational. That's what it looks like, right? The jump man.
Living up to it.
Really? I mean, good deflection right here. Look at Aberdeen in the open floor.
Pretty chaotic. It's been most of the night. And Burnett will draw the foul coming around the screen. Florida with 8 block shots in the game. 8:45 to go. And Burnett to check it in. We'll see if McDaniel gets rolling again. He has 21. Williams with the shoulder in, falls back, can't hit it.
Good D contesting.
Pullen with a pull-up. No. Michigan by 2 and the ball.
Juwan Howard is testing that new heart over there, right? I mean, he's up and down, and he's been active on the sideline here in the second half.
Yeah, second game back as the head coach, a tie-up.
This will get your heart pumping, this game, for sure. What a class guy he was to shoot around today. Enjoyed my time with him. He didn't want it to be about him coming back and get the attention of, returning from his heart surgery. But
well, there was that and a reported altercation between Howard and the strength coach John Sanderson last week. Said not to have been physical. Reportedly, Sanderson filed an HR claim. He has stepped away from the team. Coach Howard was cleared to return by the athletic department and is back on the floor as he has been as the head coach the last 2 games, recovering from the heart surgery. Jumping inside Clayton. He can't use the glass. Rebound is up and that'll drop in. And Longton will get 2 and tie the game at 65. So here we go, inside 8 and all locked up. He trying to make a move and he'll draw the foul. And Longton with the personal.
Michigan likes to run.
And a whistle off the ball here with 7:37 to go. And they will get Denzel Aberdeen, 6'5" sophomore, for the foul. Michigan up 3-1 in the all-time series against the Gators. And for the jump shot, that won't fall for Burnett. Another whistle. And a shove underneath. And it'll be Gators basketball. Foul on Williams, the second.
So I said this earlier for Juwan Howard's team. He doesn't have anybody in foul trouble except for Cheddar, who's got 3. Everyone else on the front line can stay really physical on the glass right now.
Pullen trying to drive it, keeps on going, lays it out, foul. And Pullen all the way through.
Pullen with a nice change of pace. Burnett is their lockdown defender on the perimeter. That's a nice play by Pullen to get by him.
And Pullen, the transfer, 3-time All-Big West product out of UC Riverside. He's a scorer too. He is a scorer. 1,300 points at UC Riverside. And Florida opening up a 3-point advantage. They're 9-16 at the line. Michigan 6 out of 8. McDaniel trying to get back in the scoring groove. Using that glass again. That won't drop in. Here comes Clayton Jr. They will swing it. Aberdeen won't shoot it. Clayton jumping in. No, denied.
I'm surprised Clayton didn't pull the trigger on that triple.
Here's Burnett. Wants to get that mid-range up there, and he'll draw the foul. He took a pretty good hit as he goes down on the back. So it'll be Clayton with the personal. That's 3 on him.
Yeah, he comes trying to help It's a good contest by Pullen.
Damari Burnett, 2 sets.
He didn't need any help.
So Damari Burnett at the line. I mentioned one of his stops, Alabama. He was part of that Alabama team that won 31 games and a #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. Came in averaging 10 points a game for the Wolverines. Trying to get them within 1 and does. So about 6.5 to play here, 1-point game. Seen a lot of guys hitting that floor. So the crew coming out to mop up the sweat on both ends. It's been that kind of second half for Todd Golden's team against Juwan Howard's team.
Michigan has had as much as a 9-point lead here in the second. And you can credit McDaniel for a lot of that. I thought they had control of the game, and then McDaniel went out and Florida just chips away.
It was like for Michigan, somebody sucked the air out of the building there for several minutes when he was out. He has that kind of an impact. Samuel will be at the line, where again he only makes 55%.
Now he's 1 for 6 from the free throw line.
Can you get better?
You can. You got to practice. You got to get in the gym, and you got to make them. You got to have a routine that you feel confident with. But all players at this level should be able to self-correct.
Well, he's a graduate student. 69-67. Florida's missed 8 foul shots tonight. Up top, here's Reed Jr. Palmer for McDaniel. McDaniel looking to get one in the air and can't hit it, but draws the foul again.
Florida foul, number 0, Zion Pullen, his first.
A little bit of a bailout here.
I mean, it's good D. He's between McDaniel and the basket. Oh, Pullen wants to know where the foul was. I almost thought maybe McDaniel kicked his leg out.
76% foul shooter makes the first.
And he's their best free throw shooter. He's their closer at the end of the game.
Out of Washington, D.C. And at his size, a good rebounder, too. He also leads Michigan in steals, in minutes played, scoring, assists. Does it all for the Wolverines. Clayton Jr. is open. Can't cash in. Burnett chasing down the rebound. So we're tied at 69. Michigan won for their last 7.
Expect that middle ball screen. Here it comes. They run some Spain action right here.
Almo up to set that. He'll shoot it.
Oh, that's
for 3.
That is huge. That's his second triple.
Get your 6'9" guy to do that. Aberdeen. And can't answer. And Kama with another rebound.
Aberdeen is 2 for 12 from the three-point line coming into the game.
McDaniel right down the paint. Left-handed again. No. Tapped out. With 5:01 to go. It'll be Florida basketball. 72-69 Michigan. Daniel found a seam. Just couldn't lay this one in. So a 3-point game. And who will be the hot hand for the Gators here down the stretch?
I'm looking for Walter Clayton Jr. to get going.
He's had an off night. But he's got time. That's going to be swished in by Will Richard. So maybe it'll be Richard, who's had some great games.
No, we're not waiting until next year. We're just going to do it. We're going to make the decision right now and do it.
I'm with you. Can't wait for next year, but this should be terrific. And a funny feeling about Alabama going all the way again. We shall see.
Is Alabama ever an underdog?
Yeah, they are on occasion. Last couple of years, not often.
Going to Vegas.
Burnett. Reed slithering inside, can't finish it. Tied at 72. We'll see if Clayton is the guy who does step up for the Gators here, averaging 17. Kugel's going to drive it all the way through. Denied. Collin, a terrific rejection. McDaniel coming out of the pack with it.
My goodness.
The defensive stop of the night here.
There's been a lot of collisions at the rim tonight.
McDaniel.
I still think Florida needs to change something about that ball screen coverage on the top of the floor with McDaniel.
Kugel with a reach-in foul.
You cannot afford any game slippage right now. Your detail and your execution has to be outstanding. Perfect.
Michigan missing at the foul line for the first time in the second half. They're 9 out of 10. Florida just 5 for 10 in the second half. Trying to roll inside. The Gators trying to get a good look underneath for Pullen. 3:25 to play. And the Gators to check it in on the baseline. Pullen on McDaniel with a jumper. Got it.
Has a size advantage over McDaniel on that defensive end.
6'4" over 5'11".
I mean, really nice pull-up.
Gators by 2. McDaniel flips it up, and it rattles home.
I mean, he's killing him in that drop coverage. And you can't pinch because shooters are in the corner. But I'm telling you right now, McDaniel's going in there to score. He's not looking to pass.
He has 25 to lead all scorers. Richard lines one up. In and out. Rebound comes to McDaniel. Michigan trying to retake the lead. It's a good matchup here. Clayton on McDaniel. Once again, looking to use that window. Can't connect. In transition, Pullen, Richard draws the foul. And that's the Gators game right there.
Yeah, that's it. Tilting the floor, going off the rebound, getting up the court quickly, looking to attack. Good challenge at the rim. A hard drive by Richard.
So shooting 2. He's a 75% foul shooter. Clayton will now step out, and Kugel back on.
I think it's a little offense defense for Todd Golden.
And Longton also back on, the 7-1 sophomore for the Gators. And Condon to the bench for now. Richards second. Made 1 of 2, but Samuel keeps it alive. It's batted around and comes back to the Wolverines.
You better be prepared to box out if you're Michigan when Florida's on the free throw line. They have missed a lot of free throws.
Conway falling away, short.
I mean, all Michigan stood, no one cut off the post. They just went total ISO.
1:45 to go. Florida by 1 point.
Michigan switching.
Pullen, what a tough shot, made it. He'll be at the line too.
Boy, how good has he been here with the game on the line? He's really the most natural point guard they have on their roster. He gets the switch. It's a nice crossover and take.
Williams picking up foul number 4, trying to contain Pullen. Who looks for the 3-point play.
Really back-to-back baskets for him because he gets the pull-up jump shot against McDaniel.
He's actually the best foul shooter on the floor for Florida, and he connects 84%. So the Gators by 2, and the Wolverines take a timeout. Juwan Howard takes one here with 1:33 on the clock.
Probably a stagger to get him the basketball, trying to get him downhill.
Rebounded for Burnett.
Here he comes off one pin down. Into another ball screen.
Reed leaning in, and one! Big shot by Terrace Reed Jr., who will head to the line for a three-point play.
I just finished saying he has not looked to make a pass, but right here it's a trap. He gets the short roll pass to Reed, who does an excellent job with his footwork inside. Samuel reaches in to help instead of getting between him and the basket. And today at practice, he made the last pressure free throws for Michigan before they broke shoot-around.
And he makes it.
That's why you put your players in those situations. We got a game, like 1-point game. Full court pressure here by Michigan. Trying to take some time off the clock. Falling back into that zone, which was effective for a couple of possessions.
Pullen, shot clock down to 10. Tyrese Samuel off to Richard, wants it, and it goes down, and he takes the hit. He'll be at the line. Boy, he's made some big plays for the Gators. Burnett with number 4.
I mean, late clock, turn the corner on that dribble handoff. Really nice take inside by Richard.
Junior out of Fairburn, Georgia, for the three-point play. 81-77. Williams getting harassed off from McDaniel. McDaniel on the dribble. Burnett blocked. Right back to him. And hits it. Amari Burnett staying right with it with 33.7 to go and a timeout. And a 2-point game.
Hard trap, steal, jump ball. Don't get beat over the top.
Burnett and a timeout play. How about that? Michigan winds up with a terrific trap. And forcing it.
Well, Florida inbounds the ball almost in the dead corner right here. Like, this is a terrific job by Kamwa not to let him reverse the basketball. Burnett ties him up. This is a big play defensively by Michigan.
Just felt all night like it was coming out of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Williams gets it in for McDaniel. Michigan fans in the building on the edges of their seats.
I think Florida switches on everything.
Daniel dribbling, shot clock down to 7. Trying to make a move off the window. No, it's going to go down for Kamwa. He got up there.
You got to take this shot with time for an offensive rebound. Look to attack the rim. Don't settle for a jumper.
Here's Pullen driving hard and batted away by Reed. 1.9 seconds to go. And Florida takes a timeout. The Gators have the basketball with 1.9 to play.
What a play by Reed. Look at the offensive rebound by Kamwa, who comes from the weak side and crashes. Nobody puts a body on him.
You're going to reset it to 2.6 when it went out. 2.6. Florida trying to win it here.
He's got to switch on everything here.
Pullen still looking, and he will take a timeout.
Kamwa wants to make him inbound the ball going away from the basket. You got to make sure you don't let him catch it in the paint.
Pullen's got to get it in. He does. Condon will heave it up there. Short. And that's the end of regulation. We are tied. 81-81 heading for overtime. Now it's Condon with a lead in, but not close to going down, and we are headed for OT. Game one of the Jumpman.
I'm good with another 5.
I know you are. You play all night. This has been a fun one. Doug McDaniel been the star of the game, no question about it. Zips the pass, and that's off the hands of Conlon out.
See, when McDaniel has made a pass, it has resulted in no points. Right? I mean, when he's looked to score, he's been very effective as Michigan falls back in the zone. Playing off that middle ball screen action is what I'm referencing.
I think Michigan fans would just assume he shoot it.
Yeah, I think so.
Like 100% of the time. Rolling up top here for Kugel. Airborne pass, not a good one. And thrown away. Here come the Wolverines, 81-81. Daniel looking for an opening and a whistle before the shot, as he'll take a foul with 4:12 to go in overtime.
They're going to call that on the floor. One official has 2.
And the other has a 1-on-1.
Now they're going back to 2.
It'll be a 2-shot foul here as McDaniel goes to the stripe. And drops in
Number 1, Walter Clayton.
Again, Todd Golden going offensive substitution, bringing Walter Clayton Jr. back in the game.
Makes the pair. He has 27.
2-2-1. They've fallen back into the 2-3 zone out of this.
Samuel on the high post, handing off for Clayton Jr.
Then they go man on the first pass.
Samuel hit the deck. Going in strong, Richard. No, and the rebound is going to be tipped up and in. Plus a foul on the play. What does Florida crash the offensive glass? They've got 3 players in the top 10 or 11 in the country rankings in offensive rebounding.
4th in the nation in offensive rebounding percentage from KenPom at 42.6.
Trouble with the foul. Samuel to the line. And again, challenging for him there, but he drops that one in. 3-point play. It's the Gators by 1. McDaniel on the spin.
So good at keeping this dribble alive.
Burnett trying to blow by Clayton inside and draws the foul. Nothing easy under there on either side. 3:31 left in OT.
The ability by Burnett to create some separation right here off the bounce. See, he's got this ISO right here that he wants Clayton. He wants to take him to the bucket. It requires help and rotation, and there's the foul.
So Burnett on the line and shooting 2, 71%. And now looking to put the Wolverines back in the lead. Back and forth we go here.
Michigan has brought some full court pressure off made free throws. They're going to back off this time. So Doug McDaniel pulling his guys back.
Pulling looking for help. He gets it back with 14 on the shot clock. Richard with 5 to shoot. Richard to the baseline. Thrown away. Right to Burnett.
Back-to-back turnovers.
Amari Burnett has had his name on a bunch of big plays in this game in the second half in particular. McDaniel working on a 27-point night.
They want to keep McDaniel on one side of the floor, but it's hard.
Burnett in and out with a triple.
This one, Walter Clayton Jr.'s got to see the shot right here. Got a feeling this is him.
He'll drive it. Not enough elevation. Tipped a couple of times. Kama, great job to keep that alive. And a foul here on the Gators. And locked it. That should be number 5. It is. So he is done for the night. A great hustle there by Olivier Kamwa to keep this alive. Watch this effort.
I mean, Olivier Kamwa is what I call a right side of the box score kind of player, because he stuffs the stat sheet, not just points and rebounds. It's all the other things that he does. That right there, sitting on the post up to not allow Florida to get a good look inside and then being active on the glass. That's an athletic play right there by Kamwa.
It's a big heart play, too. McDaniel with another one on the way. Michigan up 86-84. Trying to make it a 3-point advantage with 2:25 to go. As mentioned, the 7-footer fouling out for Florida. McDaniel pretty much automatic in the clutch. 29-point game for the sophomore. The Wolverines looking for the stop. Condon inside, yes. It's a nice touch for a big guy at 6'11".
Really nice. Good read.
1-point game. McDaniel 29 points and 7 rebounds tonight.
He went away from the screen that time.
Over the top, no foul. Boy, Conley got up there and interrupted the alley-oop. Here's Richard. No. Rebound up high. Second chance now for the Gators. Michigan by 1, but Florida has the ball. Under 90 seconds left at OT. Pulling. Blocked by Burnett. Another big play.
Absolutely. He's been terrific on the ball. He's their lockdown guy on the perimeter.
Can the Wolverines get some breathing room?
I would not have brought a screen this time.
McDaniel to drive it, the scoop, no. He gets it back on the baseline, and that's a travel. Michigan with a turnover.
When he had Walter Clayton Jr. on the top of the floor, they've been bringing that ball screen in different matchups. I would have maybe considered not bringing it at that time, letting go one-on-one. Flatten it out. We haven't seen that yet.
Inside 16 turnovers. Under a minute. Clayton, too strong. Rebound battle for it, kept alive. Back for Clayton. Florida again crashing that offensive glass. 10 seconds to get off a shot. Now down to 7. Pulling the scoop. Swatted away by Kamwa. They got it back. 1 second to get one off. He can't hit it. Rebounded by the Wolverines.
Got a foul.
And they do foul McDaniel with 21.8 to go in overtime.
McDaniel is the closer. Kamwa with a huge play. He doesn't block it out of bounds either, Dave. He blocks it off the glass so they can retrieve it.
That's what Bill Russell used to do.
Yes.
Keep it alive.
I'm not sure he had an option to block it out of bounds, but
maybe not.
What incredible closing speed to recover.
McDaniel, exactly the man they want at the line here, you've got to believe. 88-86, trying to make it a 3-point advantage. He's just been tremendous at the line all night.
You don't have to have a 3 right here. You can attack. Timeout.
With 18.9 left. 89-86 Michigan trying to eke one out here. Remember, Florida had an opportunity to win the game at the end of regulation, couldn't make the shot, and now Michigan has the upper hand in overtime. And that young man with 31. As we take a look at our Wild recap brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings.
Florida's missed a lot of free throws tonight. McDaniel has been unguardable in the middle third of the floor. And we've had a competitive game with 12 ties and 15 lead changes.
McDaniel, by the way, 10 for 10 at the foul line. Along with his 31 points, he has 8 rebounds and 4 assists. So there's no doubt who the star is in this one. He just wants to wrap it all up with a W. The Gators still have life.
Florida, no timeouts. You can get a quick 2 right here and extend the game.
In for Pullen. Clayton Jr. turns on it, fires, it won't drop. Big battle for the rebound, back out for Pullen. He sinks it! He hits the triple. We're tied at 89.
Michigan has 1 timeout. They elect not to use it.
Here comes Burnett. Burnett steps back, launches, no! And the rebound falls out of play with 1.5 to go.
Why would you settle for the 3? Drive it. You got to make Florida come back to the basketball here.
Zion Pullen hit one at midcourt to end the first half.
Don't let him get a running start.
Well, he gets it again. He heaves it again, and he can't hit this one. So we're going to double overtime at 89-89.
Great hustle on the offensive glass. Walter Clayton Jr. gets a great look. Samuel with the rebound and kicks it back out. Big bucket by Pullen. 21 offensive rebounds. The 4th best offensive rebounding team by percentage in the country gets a big one here late to extend the game.
Yeah, huge reason why we're going to double overtime in Charlotte.
So Burnett and Williams for Michigan, Dave, both with 4. Handlocked already fouled out with 5. He's outside of that. Walter Clayton Jr. has 3 fouls.
So Michigan wins the tip here in the second overtime.
And Michigan has played less people off their bench than Florida, so maybe there's an advantage depth if fatigue becomes a factor.
Turnaround off the window by Combo, who's made big plays all night too.
But to be quite honest, I don't know how you get tired in a game like this. 2-3, first pass, matchup in man.
Condon on Kamwa, who rejects it. Well, they're going to count it. It'll be goaltending.
Did it hit the backboard before? They're going to take a look at it.
We are going to get together on this. Take a look.
Looks like he might have got it before it hit the backboard.
I think he did. Reed going up. He got it before it got to the backboard.
Yes.
The officials at the monitor, and they're going to count. Going to count the basket. And everybody has to restart their motors. Kamwa. Going to work on Samuel and a whistle before the shot.
Florida foul number 4.
Kamwa with 10 rebounds to go along with his 17 points. He's been so efficient tonight. That's his 4th double-double of the season for Michigan.
Camo making 68% at the line, drops in the first one.
One shot remains for Olivier Camo.
Olivier named a co-captain for the Wolverines this year. He's a guy who will speak up. He's got a voice on this team.
A respected voice.
3 NCAA tournaments with Tennessee. Michigan by 2. Bounce feed for Samuel, and he'll slam it down.
Really good job by Samuel posting up inside that back row of the zone. And a nice job by Pullen to get inside.
Samuel with a season high 20 points against Pitt, has 21 tonight. So new season high for him. Palma, tough shot. Tipped up, controlled by Samuel.
Give Samuel 10 rebounds.
This game in double OT, and now Florida trying to retake the lead in a 93-93 game. McDaniel almost with a theft there. Up top for Pullen. And now Clayton Jr. Pullen slamming on the brakes and draws the whistle. He gets hit.
Michigan foul number 32.
Reed trying to slow him down. Will pick up his 4th.
Good job by Pullen to get into the body of Reed.
Pullen excellent line, 84% for the Gators. Has them in front. In a game that has seen a ton of ties and lead changes. And he makes the pair.
The North Carolina women and the Oklahoma women who are coming up next have been waiting in the tunnel for a long time.
You too. You've got that game.
I'll be ready.
Olivier Camo with it up high. Gators by 2. Camo with a turnaround block by Samuel. He's had a night.
Yeah, he anticipated that move. Camo has gone to that several times.
Florida trying to expand on it. Clayton Jr. He drives it, banks it in.
He's had a tough night, but he's been their leading scorer all season at 16.5 points. He's well below that tonight.
97-93 Gators.
Good job keeping McDaniel on the same side of the floor.
Not easy to do. Here's Burnett. Burnett almost turned it over. Shot clock at 2. Difficult angle, can't connect. Right back to Florida.
Well, Florida did not let McDaniel get the ball back. Once he gave it up.
97-93 Florida. And the basketball.
This is a big possession right here.
Conlon looking for a guard. Off here for Richard. Richard shredding. He lays in 2. Florida on an 8-0 run in double overtime. And Michigan takes a timeout, trailing by 6. .1:18 to go in the second overtime. And does Michigan have a run in them?
Walter Clayton Jr. has struggled all night. He gets a step right here and takes the smaller McDaniel into the paint. And then Richard has been outstanding in the second half. Really strong take to the bucket against Reed, who doesn't want to commit that 5th.
This is the biggest lead the Gators have had tonight. That's how tight and how hard fought this game has been. 99-93. Look at our game summary. And despite McDaniel's 31 points and 8 rebounds, it's Florida in front. 15 ties, 16 lead changes tonight in Charlotte.
6 times this season. How about that? That Florida's had 20 more offensive rebounds.
Williams can't hit the jumper. Michigan with a big miss as we approach a minute to go in the second OT. Florida running some clock here. Over the top for Samuel.
Foul Samuel.
Didn't get to him. Clayton will lift. And hit the three! A dagger!
It's not how many, it's when.
102 to 93 Gators as they open it up. And a little shove there. The shot almost went too as McDaniel lofted up a long one. And he's going to be shooting 3 with 44 seconds to go.
I would have fouled Samuel right there. Instead, hands down on Clayton, who sees a big basket late in the game.
.32 points for Doug McDaniel. And another one coming. Perfect at the line, or he was until that moment. 44 seconds to go in double overtime. And hits the third. So he is tied his season high 33 points. And now the pressure here from Michigan. They break it. Clayton Jr. right down the lane. He's the man who hit that dagger 3 moments ago. That's going to fall. Combo will sink it. 104.98, a frenetic finish here and a foul with 30 seconds to go. It's on McDaniel, and that'll put the Florida Gators at the line. At times tonight, they have not done themselves a lot of favors.
But they decided in the second half to drive it, to get in the paint, off the bounce, or with a penetrating pass, and continue to do what they do, their identity, crash the glass. They left the door open here a little bit by missing free throws.
Pulling 7 for 9 tonight, and hits that.
Better get on McDaniel right now. He's going to try to pull into a 3 right here. Look for a drag screen. Here it comes. Good job by Condon.
Williams, yes! He hits the 3 in a timeout, Michigan. The Wolverines are not out of it yet. 18.5 seconds to go. Well, they shut down McDaniel, but Terrence Williams II hit a big shot.
By percentage, he's the best 3-point shooter.
Yeah, 40%. 2/3 of his shots this year have been from 3-point land. Phil, who had the team when Juwan Howard was out recovering from his heart surgery. Late running the baseline. Does get it in. And the foul stops the clock at 16.7.
Put Samuel all the way away from the basket. He wasn't involved in entering the ball in.
Return for Michigan, number 2, Troy Jackson.
And 6'10" Troy Jackson back on the floor now for the Wolverines as Will Richard goes to the line. One of the better foul shooters for Florida, 75% for the year. As Burnett has fouled out. And number 1 goes for Richard. The junior with another one coming. In and out. 106-101. McDaniel way downtown, no. Reed chasing down the rebound. 5 seconds to go. And that'll be a blocking foul against the Gators. As Connor went down, but he commits the personal.
It's not what Florida wanted to stop the clock.
3.9 to go.
I think Reed's got to make the first, miss the second.
He'll be shooting 2. And again, just a 49% foul shooter.
You
106-101.
got to practice this. It has to hit the rim.
The art of missing it.
Yes, the art of missing.
Does glance away, comes out high to Clayton, and that'll ice it. The Gators roll to a big win over Michigan in double overtime, 106-101. Both teams had their opportunities to win the game. Florida pulls it out in the end here in Charlotte.